Are you ever worried about, because their main business is in Asia, right? As obviously we all know, are you worried about the challenges that exist between political challenges that continues between US and China, and whether that would have any impact? That is one of the questions that came up, not recently, but in the last couple of months, as the idea of a US and China relationship is not necessarily at best term, and even after the change of the administration, it's not necessarily the best term. Do you have, I know we don't want to get political at all, but like, do you have any thoughts about, would that change your strategy? What happens if there's a big news about China and, basically relationship with the US and the stock dip? What would you do if you hear those sort of negative things about it?
It's a huge long tail risk, Hoda, which means that, it's probably pretty unlikely. It's a very small percentage chance that US and China go to war over IP or something really, really drastic happens, right? But we've seen a lot of political challenges, right? Between TikTok, between Huawei bans, political challenges between these two countries has impacted this industry specifically more than a lot of other ones out there. And plus, on top of that, China still considers Taiwan to be part of China, even though it's recognized by the international community as a separate democratic nation. It still thinks that Taiwan belongs to its own country, and it has a very aggressive plan on bringing a lot of its own manufacturing in-house, especially in the next decade, because it wants to be at the forefront of AI and of machine learning as well. So yeah, definitely huge risk with something like that happening. We have to be comfortable with that as an investor. That's always on the table, and you kind of have to keep in the back of your mind, yes, something really, really big could happen. China could try to annex or nationalize Taiwan and or Taiwan Semiconductor. I think that, maybe if you're investing in the company and that really, really bothers you, that's a risk you should be keeping in mind, because it's always on the table. But in terms of the economics of the company, and you look at the margins that they have, the operating profits that they have, the cash flows that they have, and the $100 billion that they're going to be putting into capital expenditures during just the next 3 years, that is unmatched by anyone else in the market. So if we take the political risks off the table, this is one that the market has decided is really the winner take almost all in their industry. Yeah,
I love that. I mean, obviously the conversation we always have with the stock guardians is, if there was no risk, there won't be any rewards. But the point is, you would be familiar and comfortable with those sort of risks and be willing to take that. The most important part to me is just being aware of it, knowing that this may happen, so that you don't get blindsided by, oh, this news came out, and so the stock, and have sort of a point of plan for it, I believe.